Good afternoon and welcome to Lambert Park for the final round of National Premier League's New South Wales men's action. My name is Nate Patrick and it's my pleasure to take you through what should be an entertaining afternoon, not just here, but across the grounds, of course. All fixtures of the final round being played at the same time. This one of particular interest when it comes to finals football. Sydney United currently occupying that fifth spot, so prized. Sydney Olympic, one behind Mount Druitt Town Rangers. An outside chance still in terms of Olympic. 3 points. It's what is needed, nothing less. And the hope that Sydney United do not win their game. We'll try and give you some updates in their clash against Manly United. But for now, it's Sydney FC versus Sydney Olympic. I've heard there have been some late withdrawals from this game. I'm not exactly sure as to the circumstances, but we hope the affected parties all okay. Don't want to rule out Sydney FC from this conversation, of course. They have secured their safety in the top flight for another season. They can't go up to 10th, and of course can't go down to 12th. Manager Jim Van Wieren looking forward to seasons beyond. Wonderful opportunity for his young side to get some minutes. Van der Saga was with the turnover. Great win back from Petrados to start things off down this left-hand side. Ball judged to have gone out of play. Ball inside, into Swibble, who continues his run forward. It is Swibble down this right-hand side. Early ball into the area. Not quite sure what he saw. Sydney were outclassed 4-0 last week at this ground against Sutherland Sharks. Olympic with that magnificent come-from-behind victory over Sydney United. Sets up things as we see them. Comfortable enough for Sydney FC in the early stages. This is a side, as mentioned previously, with nothing to lose. Ball again, looking for Harry van der Saag. Can't quite find him. Van Meurs able to play it out from the back nice and calmly. Teague. No foul to be given. Maybe a chance for Olympic to settle with some possession. Front two of Sydney FC. Continually putting that back line under pressure. They don't often change from their system. Madonnas helps to tidy up before Paul Henderson gets it clear. Hahn. There's a ripper left foot. Cause of a turnover this time. The attack, Van der Saag. Happy to play it out to Swibble. Dink ball central again, not finding the target. There was a man central this time, unable to be found. Teague. Lovely touch of Ivanovic. Judged to be a corner. Clearance up in the air. Eventually gotten away. Talbot wants the 1-2. Played a little bit in behind him. He's going to have to come back and do the defending. Olympic potentially away. Petrados on the run. Happy to play it out to the right-hand side. Shot on the left. It's snuck in. Some of us on this side thinking it might have hit the side netting. Such a softly hit, innocuous start to this game, but Olympic with their first chance have made it count. They take the early lead. Fair to say that Sydney FC had the early running in this game, but Olympic, their first real chance of note, make it count. I want to say it was Jack Stewart who got that goal. Trying to have that confirmed for you. Bit of a tussle here. Mackenzie strongest. Here he is again, down the right-hand side. Stewart gets past Teague with ease. Cutback's not bad. Under a little bit of pressure. Happy to go back to the wide man. Attempted clearance, shanked somewhat. Still not out of there for Sydney FC. Trying to play it out from the back. Eventually, they do get it wide. On making the interception. Olympic will start again. And pass is cut out. Effort appreciated by Riley Woodcock. This flick header. Nicely tidied up. Talbot once more. Shatters to box Sydney FC in. It's exactly what's occurred. Shot on goal. Have a second, why don't you? Excellent defensive pressure. Sydney Olympics top goal scorer of the season, Alejandro Sanchez, adding to his tally. Sydney Olympic are a team on a mission. Mission not quite accomplished, but successful in these early stages. It is 2-0 to the away side. We were talking in the preview about United above Olympic, Mount Druitt Town Rangers as potential outsiders. Is it too early to talk about Olympic challenging Marconi if Marconi lose? Would draw them level with points, but the 13 goal difference to start off this round had us thinking they weren't in the conversation. 2 early goals for Olympic. Maybe they believe. Even fourth spot isn't out of their grasp just yet. Defending premiers and champions. Might be leaving it late. Defensive error. Giving FC a chance. Swivel. Can't quite find a teammate. And under pressure. Just like in the pre-match rondo. Really seems rushed or flustered in any way. Creates time on the ball. Lovely flick around the corner. Ball over the top. Looking for Pavicevic. Continues the press. These are very encouraging signs if you're an Olympic fan. If you have made it to Lambert Park. No doubt if you're watching on the stream, you've got the Sydney United Manly game open as well. Early signs for your side, more than encouraging. Ball inside. Sanchez happy to lay it off to this left-hand side. Cross from Riley Woodcock, cut out. So much intent being shown by Olympic early. Anytime they don't have that football, getting numbers to it to win it back. Might leave a few gaps or spaces in behind, but that's the risk you take. That's the risk they need to take today. Gillespie's pass going out of play. I think he's beckoning to Riley Woodcock to make that run a little earlier. Sydney FC may well relish these opportunities when the ball goes out of bounds. Take a breather. Reset. Ivanovic beaten to it. Doesn't really try too hard to win it back either. Bit of space. Sydney FC tidying up. Once again, in these forward areas, Olympic have their pick of the passes. There's another one. Cheeky ball around the corner. Linesman raising his flag. Ginger Ahn going a little too early that time. Sydney FC will continue to try and play it out from the back. Flick looked good from Talbot. Didn't eventuate. Ahn laying it off. Pavicevic still going. It's just a little behind him. The improvised effort off the crossbar. Everyone just stood still. Not much you can do about those if they go in. On the attack, Sydney well cut out. Kileski covering that back four. Still remember his pair of wonder goals against Manly United. Definitely not a pure defensive player by any means. Teague, with a bit of time to measure his pass. Wants the reverse ball back out to the right to find Talbot. Ball across the face and the header in. Sydney FC have one back. Not a lot of momentum, but that was wonderfully worked and crafted. This time there was someone on the end of it. I believe it was Benjamin Coop. Once again, try and have that confirmed for you, but wherever it was, well worked, well finished. McKenzie not happy with the options presented. Come back out to the left to Riley Woodcock. Lovely ball inside. Teague clashes with the referee. Plenty of space to run into. Has decent delivery on the left. Woodcock with the follow-up. Drags his shot just wide. Comfortably wide. Was in the right position. Ball kept in the field of play, but only as far as Arn. In their ambition to win it back, Olympic committing the foul. Been a good response from Sydney FC, absorbing some of the pressure defensively and executed their goal to perfection. It was Teague's switch back out to the right-hand side. Talbot's ball in. Every pass hitting the target. Here's the talented Ivanovic. Talbot inside to Van der Sar. Does well to get past his man. Looks to the linesman for the decision. Skibilio battling for it. Eventually coming across again. Dimi Petratos. Unmissable for a variety of reasons. Rare pass, not hitting its mark for Olympic. Really has been a busy, forceful start from the away side here at Lambert Park. Petratos starting to apply the pressure. Sydney happy to go back. It's a three-man press of Olympic. Once that's done, Sydney are able to get past it and get forward. Teague. There again, you see the three men combining. Put that pressure on. Skibilio keeps looking over his shoulder. Only to find a bunch of slightly darker blue shirts coming right at him. Woodcock back to his centre back. McKenzie happy to play it all the way back. Not a lot for Paul Henderson to do in this game so far, which is never a nice thing as a goalkeeper when you've conceded a goal, but there was nothing he could have done. Sydney FC winning the 50-50, and Teague looking for the first time ball over the top. Swibble was on his way. And here he is defending as well. Good combination football from Sydney FC, who are starting to grow into this contest. Talbot adventured all the way in field. Now starts tracking back. Always interesting to see what happens with the fullbacks. Some of them exclusively playing up and down their touchline. Some of them inverted as such, coming central. Does mean that in transition, the wide men of the opposition have plenty of space. That's one of the more obvious handballs you'll see today. Van Meers misjudging that bounce. Presenting Olympic with a dangerous set-piece opportunity. And standing over the dead ball, flights it towards the back post. The follow-up shot, always rising. Came from McKenzie. Who's already back in defence, ready for this long ball. Heward Bell. Only as far as Madonis, who's happy to get it out of play. Benjamin Coop straying offside. One left a little short. Coop trying to close it down. Olympic retaining possession. Donna searching long. Van Muir's very brave, committing to win that header. Interception made, well read by McKenzie, happy to step out of his line. Ball played to the outside channel, dink back, only as far as the goalkeeper. Right idea from Olympic. It's their final pass a little too close. So the last man for Sydney FC, who are now on the counter-attack of sorts. Olympic have gotten numbers back. Teague. Measured ball inside. Lovely run being made. Coop playing it wide, Ivanovic. Cross-come shot, landing on the roof of the net. Petratos looking to spray it wide to the right to Jack Stewart. Doesn't quite get a hold of the pass. Ball down the line. Good defending once again. Zachary McKenzie always seems to know where to be stationed. Delivery, not bad at all. Rising high was Fletcher McFarlane. Could only really skim off the top of his head. Out for a goal kick. Well read. Riley Woodcock make that interception. So this is first pass from defence to midfield for Olympic. Not really finding the mark. Sydney happy to play it back and across. Get it past this first press. That ball over the outstretched Teague. He cleverly wins it back. There's plenty of light blue shirts. Header into the area. Shove comes across. Referee's happy with it. Koleski. Good use of the body and then wins the foul. Coop. There's Koleski. Happy to let his teammates know what he thinks should be done. Spray potentially at Jack Stewart caused that turnover earlier. He understands just how crucial this game is to his side. 2-1 win is enough to give them a sniff, depending on that Sydney United result. They wouldn't want it to stay this close. Petromanis. Long ball forward. The header back from Sanchez. Can't find his teammates. Ivanovic. Trying to orchestrate something for his side. Happy to slow it down a touch. Van der Sar. Not liking his options particularly. Callum Talbot. As mentioned a few times, Sydney happy to play it back and across when this three-man Olympic press comes out. Believing that'll give them enough space in the midfield to start their attack properly. Technically does give them that one-man advantage. Do they have the patience and ability to keep pulling it off? McFarlane under pressure. Van Meurs. Cut out this time. Petromanis taking no prisoners. It's one for the juniors to learn, perhaps. NPL, New South Wales football. Dare I say, at any level. Simply not something you're allowed to do. If you're having that rule apparently explained to them right now, but must be designated to be inside the officials' playing area. Believe is the wording. Will be forgotten shortly. Woodcock. Happy to go back to Koleski. Spreads it wide right. Adonis trying to stand up his man. Happy to come back. Stewart. Once again, there's just that extra number for the Sky Blues. Referee lets that go. Well done, Jack Stewart. Pavicevic does enough. Wants it back. Woodcock only looking forward. Eventually obliges. Rather aimless ball towards the middle. Kileski had the hand over the shoulder to drag him down. It's not quite a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, is it? We'll come back where that foul was committed. Exactly. Geordie Swibble applying the pressure, but overstepping on that occasion. It's he and Coop that are furthest forward for Sydney FC this afternoon. Another Olympic attack. Decent header in on goal. Couldn't direct it either side of the goalkeeper. Pavicevic growing into this game. That was a clever little nutmeg. Seen a lot of the ball early. It has Talbot. Little too much sauce on that one from Talbot. Van der Sar not reading his intentions. Henderson happy just to get it away, but no Olympic player keen on it. Clever work from Arn to tidy up though. Ball over the top looking for Madonis. Well cut out, however. Ivanovic, no looker down the line. Will slowly run out of play. Sun coming out briefly as Henderson takes this restart. Lovely combination play from that midfield three. Look at this passing, unfortunately for Olympic. Petratus slipping over at the vital moment, but that one-touch football was beautiful to watch. Coop out to Ivanovic. Has teammates in support now. Van der Sarg lines up the shot. Can only hit it into the heels of his teammate in Swibble. They got their goal, Sydney FC. They couldn't get one in 90 minutes last week. A few more returning players and a few changes in this 11. They do look completely different from that side last week in their style of play, most importantly. Takes a lot to turn around a 4-goal defeat. They're only one behind this week. Constantly looking for a second. The Olympic defence holding them out in that charge so far. Patromanis on that occasion doing the defending. It's his long ball. He's looking for, Pavicevic. Turnover it is. Teague loves to try and play those big diagonals. To be fair, he does always play them. They just don't always come off. Talbot's ball around the corner again. Did not have his head up. As this half has gone on, to be fair, Sydney FC perhaps looking more likely to add to their tally. Combinations for Olympic worked beautifully in that moment about 2 minutes ago, but apart from that, the front three have been a little isolated, and there's another turnover from defence to midfield. It's just not happening. Sydney FC, can they punish them? Ball back across. Wonderful challenge from Arndt, throwing himself at it in the box. Measured it perfectly. Ivanovic spreads it out. Talbot, can he find a teammate this time? Ball inside. Not particularly neat, but job done. Talk about inverted fullbacks. Talbot now in a defensive midfield type position. And this man, Van der Sarg, the furthest out on the right-hand side. Back into Talbot. Wants to deliver this cross. Making sure of it was Madonis, and it will be a Sydney FC corner kick. Talbot all the way over to take this corner kick. Flights it towards the back stick. It's going to go over his teammates. Maybe an opportunity for Olympic. Petratos skipping past his man. His touch was a little heavy and then classily done by Skibilio. Ivanovic has several to beat. Happy to go back. That run from Petratos summing up Olympics' efforts in the last 20 minutes. Good initial play, and then it all breaks down. Van der Sarg, wasn't sure if it was a shot or a cross, eventually eludes the on-rushing attacker, going out for a goal kick. There's a slight breeze today. I wouldn't say anything too severe. Just seeing a few of these balls particularly high up in the air either hold up or change trajectory somewhat. That's more sporadic than consistent. As you see that one. Catching the breeze nicely. Maybe that's why Olympic are having a little bit of trouble. Ball's always coming back in their face. Van der Sarg's first touch around the corner again. Not quite what Talbot needs. To Talbot's credit, he has not stopped running. It's right-hand side for Sydney has seen a lot of the football. Combination play for Sydney. Looking good. They keep it nice and close. If they need to play it further wide, they look for the big switch. There's no medium balls as such, only short passing and crossing or switching. Speaking of switching, Van der Sarg now on the left-hand side. Under pressure, does win the foul. Ivanovic. Back to that man. Number 6 runs into trouble, and now Olympic. Can they string together an attack? No. Ball right down the throat of McFarlane. It's just not sticking for the away team at the moment. Ball one. Plenty of space to run into. There's a man on the left as well. Decides to play it out to the right. Unfortunately for Olympic, there's a lot of numbers there. I don't mean for the away team. Madonis realising this now. Tries to bring it back on. Ball back inside. Madonis has ventured all the way over. Lovely ball to find Woodcock. Unfortunately for him, his first touch just a little heavy, let him down. Heward Bell able to come out, make the smother. Needed to stretch out and get that under control, or maybe even hit it first time. Corner, not the worst thing that can happen to his side. On the man to come across and take the delivery. Delivery towards the middle. Well met. Van Meurs getting it away. Now Ivanovic having his jersey grabbed onto. Referee has a word to him. Can't call the foul until he can be seen that there's no more advantage. No doubt if he blew it earlier, be complaining that he didn't let the play run. Eventually. Riley Woodcock does go into the book. Picks up his yellow card. Sydney FC and Ivanovic do get the foul. McFarlane to Talbot. Skibilio. Van der Sarg, Talbot. Always backs himself, doesn't he? Get past his man. Doesn't help when the return pass doesn't come to your feet. Teague wanting to try this left-hand side. Bit of a slip over, and then Madonis brings his leg out. Sydney FC come out with the ball. Maybe a little fortunate that play didn't eventuate. Was a little sloppy from both players. Van der Sarg standing over this set piece. His team is 1 goal behind. Does he go direct on goal? Not quite. Petranos underneath it. Finds Pavicevic, who again has no support, but plenty of pressure applied. He's trying to do the same here. Back to Talbot. Does well to win the ball. A few balls being played in behind. That's 2 in a row. On and then Sanchez. Just unable to find feet or even play it in front of their man. Not much you can do to bring it under your spell when it starts off a foot behind you. Jason Madonis to take the throw. He has started every game for Olympic this season. Love to see that consistency and determination from your captain. Turn over here, Pavicevic. Quick ball inside, and lovely footwork by Petranos. Plays it out to the right. Stewart coming forward. He's got 3 to beat. Beats the first one, stands it up back post. Pavicevic's header, strangely back to where it came from. Up and ender doesn't help Sydney FC. Petranos in the air. Back to Stewart. Might get a second go. Ball flung across. Well done, Heward Bell. Comes out and claims it. Met with some delight by the Sydney FC fans. Just underneath me. Pavicevic to Arndt. Ball with the outside of the right. Koleski. It's perfect. Madonis has Arndt inside. Doesn't use him. Swings it inside instead. Underneath it is that man, Action Talbot. Gets it clear. Corner kick for Olympic. Front post delivery. Away from Sydney towards Ivanovic. Koleski. The judge to commit the foul. Was somewhat in the back of Ivanovic, but not particularly malicious. Talbot down the line. Swivel with a lot to do. Has support now. Van der Sarg. Plays it out to the left-hand side for Sydney, but back defending. The goal scorer, Jack Stewart. Lovely chip to himself. Skibilio to retain possession. Van Muir's under pressure. Bombs forward. And out a man free to his side. Petranos on the counter-attack again, looking to dribble through first. There's plenty of passing options available. Uses them on the second occasion. Arndt. Out to Riley. Woodcock wants the 1-2 with Pavicevic. There's another pass in behind. Arndt. Straight into the side of his teammate. Ball races away. Goal kick, Sydney FC. Just a few moments of key decision making. The calculated answer, not what's needed. And in plenty of space to win that header. Pavicevic trying to play it on once again. The passing out of midfield needs to be a bit more regular. That's a 1-2 to find Woodcock. He just puts it straight out of play. As we have 1 minute of stoppage time signalled. Will there be a change to the scoreline? Remaining seconds after that flurry of early action. Good pressure from Koleski means Ivanovic takes it out of play. Olympic might get one last attack of the half. Petromanis and McKenzie playing a little bit of keep ball. And again, the long ball forward can't find a target. For Sydney Olympic, things started so brightly. An early 2-goal lead, courtesy of goals to Sanchez and Stewart, before Sydney FC found their fight and vigour. Benjamin Coop getting one back. Finals football still a possibility. Going to need to fight to get the 3 points, though, are Olympic. Sydney FC with a strong end to that half. It is at the break. Sydney FC 1, Sydney Olympic 2.
next weekend is I'm shutting myself indoors, doing my application. I couldn't bear to even look at it this weekend. I just thought, I'm not even looking at it. What's the stop you? Where's the other ball? On the other side. Oh, that one today. That's in Kirinda. Yeah. Oh, Pimple.
Welcome back to Lambert Park for the second half of your game between Sydney FC and Sydney Olympic. Is the latter with a slender 2-1 lead. 2 early goals to Stewart and Sanchez. Had it looking like Olympic were on a field trip of sorts. And then Coop found one back for Sydney FC. To make things interesting, further still, Sydney United, who Olympic need not to win to have a chance of finals football. We're up 2-0 against Manly United. It's now 2-1. Potentially a few more twists to come as Koleski takes Ivanovic to the floor. For a side that can't move up in the table, Sydney FC shown a lot of class after that. Terrible, you have to say, start for the Sky Blues. They really found their feet, dominated the second part of that first half. Turnover here, Arn, 3 to beat, has a man out to the left, tries to find him. Well chased down. McFarlane in particular, making sure he wasn't going to get away. Sanchez's goal moves him up to 12 for the season, equal third best in NPL New South Wales men's football. Turnover, ball forward to Woodcock. Finds Stewart on the right. Stewart surging forward on his right foot across the face. Not too far past that far post. Heward Bell with the restart. Well, one in the air by Pavicevic, but out of play for his side. Woodcock doing the smart thing, playing it back. Petrados in space, heads it up, but not really to anyone in particular. Ivanovic trying to turn past Arndt, but he's seen harder things. Madonis searching ball down the line for Stewart, can't find him. Sanchez applying the pressure before Heward Bell comes out to get rid of it. Patrimanis bravely won. And coming across to tidy up again, Madonis. After getting found out in the air last week against Sutherland, Sydney FC have looked a lot more confident, really winning the first and second balls. Their goal today, of course, coming after a cross from Van der Sark. This one swung in right down the throat of Paul Henderson, veteran goalkeeper. Tries to get his team underway. Jack Stewart has Ivanovic to beat, wants to take him to the byline. Ivanovic very strong, manages to shepherd it out of play. Everyone knows Luke Ivanovic's talent on the ball, making real moves at Sydney FC. Here's some of his defensive aptitude as well. Ball down the line from Joel King. Not to anyone in particular. McKenzie. Played it across the face to get this play started. Then barks some instructions to his team to get forward. Madonis. Out to the left. Pavicevic. Happy to play it out to Woodcock. Wanting to go past his man. Takes a slight fumble. Has to go back down the line. And gets that one underneath him as well. Not particularly tidy from Sydney Olympic. Talbot inside to Ivanovic. First ball around the corner. Now the long ball forward. Into a bit of space. Henderson, after the slight hesitation, realised it was all his. Benjamin Coop running hard, never getting to that one. Once again, Madonis in space on the right. Inside to Petrados. Gillespie, happy to ping it across. See if there's an avenue down the left. Pavicevic through the legs and out to the left-hand side. Woodcock has the delivery. It's blocked. After thinking about taking a quick corner, Woodcock retreating to his left-back spot. Ginger Ahn now plays it out to him. Woodcock's delivery doesn't get past the first man. Not a lot on for him either in way of support. Olympic might have to come out to their right-hand side. Here we come. Petromanis. Madonis. Lovely measured ball. Stewart chasing. Gets there, but cannot keep it in play. Sydney FC with a quick restart. Game has been played at a good pace. After the opening 14 minutes, lacking a little bit of quality in the final third. Coop trying to come back inside, unable to do so. Little chest inside, nicely done. Jack Stewart again. Focal point of this attack, it seems. His delivery cannot find a teammate. Pavicevic had drifted inside. Now the first time ball around the corner could be interesting. Well dealt. Zach McKenzie once more. Reading it as well as anyone. A 2-1 scoreline for Olympic. Only good enough for them if Sydney United do not win their game against Manly. Pavicevic, lovely defending, and then the first touch to get it away. Comes towards Sanchez. Just trying to discern if this is a corner or a throw. Indeed, good work by Van Meurs to prevent the corner. Switch finds Patromanis. Another long ball. Sydney FC on the counter-attack. Started by Skibilio. Now on the right-hand side, ball inside to Ivanovic. His battle against Koleski has been very interesting. Ivanovic wins it, you have to say. Out to the left, ball in by King. Well cut out, Patromanis. Sydney FC, corner kick. Delivery to the back post, header back in. Probably should have been directed back across once more instead. Tame header right at Paul Henderson. Looks to get things underway quickly. Now raises the arm up in apology, realising none of his teammates were quite on the same page. After such a skillful and incisive opening from Olympic, not only have the goals dried up, the attacking play hasn't really come to anything. Transition ball from defence to midfield, often intercepted or just misplaced. Sydney, meantime, the FC variety, finding lots of movement off the ball. Plenty of passing options there by Ivanovic this time. Didn't like the pepper on that one from Skibilio. Can Olympic refine that form from the opening 10 minutes? They just won't feel comfortable with a one-goal lead, knowing they need all 3 points. Teague does well in the air. Follow-up was read by Van der Starg, now Talbot. Talbot again. Lives by that pass and move mantra. He makes the run forward again. Here is Talbot. Puts it down across the face. The Swibbler has made his run back towards the penalty spot. Sydney FC, don't give up in anything. Keep it in place. Skibilio, swinging effort. Not really a cross or a shot. Very acrobatic. Said he was all action Talbot. He wins the free kick for his side. Starts off deep in that right fullback spot, but then gets right on his bike. More often than not, finishing off in a defensive mid position. Pay him the ultimate compliment. Akin to Manchester City's play last night from their fullbacks. Ball forward, well read by Jason Madonis. King under pressure. Does well to get it onto his left. Once again, the delivery aimed in hope rather than any huge intelligence. Kileski loves that ball on the outside of his right foot. Once again, it's this ball out. I just can't seem to find a mark. Drifting just offside was Sanchez. Well read Woodcock. Very brave to stick his body in there. Wins the ball for his team. Tries to go past Teague. Then lets himself down with the pass. Talbot. Forward once more inside Ivanovic. Here is Talbot in that central area I was mentioning. Around the corner. Van der Sar trying to go past his man. Gets the touch. Good sliding challenge from Woodcock. Now there is plenty of space on the right. Should Jack Stewart wish to run into it? That he does. Straight past Gabilio. Stewart sizes up his man. Happy to play it inside. Petrados. Excellent tackle from Teague. Not being Petrados' game so far this afternoon. Teague, cute ball for Coop. He starts running back, but again, Nikola Kileski showing his leadership on the pitch, bossing that defensive midfield area. Cross to the left. Van Meurs looking for the incisive central ball. Falls kindly to King. Van Meurs, with not a lot on, decides to go himself. Lovely ball around the corner. Releases Ivanovic. He's trying to hold off Arn. Gets it back on his left foot and wins the free kick. Brilliant strength by the young man, and then the presence of mind. Notice the second challenge was incoming. Shifted it to his left foot. Got dragged down. Now a wonderful opportunity for the Sky Blues to try and make it 2-2. The sun, rather inconveniently, coming out from between the clouds. Three men standing over it. Talbot, Swivel and Teague. Swivel walks away, meaning one of Talbot or Teague fancy their chances. It is Talbot. Can't get it on target. Paul Henderson with the big dive. Covered his goal. Opportunity comes to naught for the Sky Blues. A long ball with no one there again. Header to Van Meurs. Swiss Olympic just fine. Once again, Sanchez had drifted offside. He won the foul in his eyes, but it was after coming back from an offside position. Play continues. Swivel can't get it under his spell. Under pressure now, McKenzie. Cute dinked ball, finds Arndt. He can't win the battle. Gives away the foul. Ivanovic again. Calling for it. To be fair to Scabilio, was under tremendous pressure. Teague taken out this time. A few challenges coming in. Referee judged that one to be fair. Clever from Adonis. Can Olympic do something with the high ball this time? I don't think so. Koleski with a cheeky smile. Again, that battle against Ivanovic has been one to watch. Just gave him a little bit of physical presence from behind, putting Ivanovic off. Olympic just cannot link up these passes in the second half, or indeed, after about that 15-20 minute mark, there was one passage of play, which if a goal resulted from it, would have been one of the goals of the season. That's no exaggeration, but again, as they entered their own attacking box, just wasn't happening. So sub is readied up for Olympic. Wait for that stoppage of play, obviously. Ball down the line. Now Sydney FC players time to be offside, and that substitute can be made. Darcy Burgess, the man coming on. I believe Dimi Petranos' game is done. Brilliant player, but perhaps today, just not his day. Darcy will get his chance. Substitution as well for Sydney FC. McFarlane making way. Olympic. Madonis happy to play it out to the left. Woodcock's delivery blocked and then cleared away. Clever ball inside. Works it wonderfully through Woodcock. Arn's delivery. The header nestles into the side netting. There's Olympic's moment of quality. Lovely link-up play through Arn and Woodcock down the left-hand side. The delivery perfect for Alex Sanchez, who gets his second of the game. More importantly, Olympic now have a 3-1 lead. Alejandro Sanchez becoming the outright third leading goal scorer this season in this competition. Regardless of the outcome of other fixtures today, something for him to be happy with. All strikers seem to have a different set of target at the start of the season as to how many goals they want scored. Maybe that'll increase the hunger. Stewart. Once again, final delivery. Not really one thing nor the other. It is kept in play by Woodcock. All the way back to Stewart. Those two playing football with one another. Shot on goal. Goes past the post from Adonis. Just on that Sydney FC substitution earlier. McFarlane coming off, Neuenhoff coming on. Skibilio may well drop into that centre back position. Neuenhoff, centre mid by trade. We saw him play alongside Teague last week. Not only are these Sydney FC young players extremely talented, they're also very versatile. You have to be when you're getting called up to prestigious tournaments during the season, or indeed senior team football. Olympic, not by any means, had appeared particularly fluent in this second half, but that really was lovely build-up play for their third goal. Arn and Woodcock reading each other extremely well. Woodcock believing that Arn would get it back to him. Then, most crucially, the delivery right onto the head of Sanchez, who made no mistake. The ball in didn't have a lot of ferocity on it. He angled it, nestled it into the side netting towards that back post. Here is the playmaker in that move. Arndt gets it out to his partner in crime, Woodcock. Bit of a fumble, once again, falls the way of the Sky Blues, who had been dictating proceedings. Ultimately, weren't able to find their second goal. Now they have a heck of an effort left in them if they are to deny Sydney Olympic anything from this game. Here's Ivanovic. Skibilio forward. Swivel is onside. Decides to lash at it comfortably over the top. Koleski's throw down the line, looking for Pavicevic. Darcy Burgess, first involvement, helps to retain possession for his side and then does so cleverly again a second time. Can't say the same for Madonis. Sydney FC can't counter-attack. Harry van der Sarg misplacing his pass. Now the long ball over the top. Pavicevic on the same page. Koleski with another smile. No doubt something those two had worked on during training. Pavicevic giving him the thumbs up. Teague does well. Finds his teammate in Neuenhoff. Substitute. Inside for Ivanovic. His touch a bit heavy. Olympic teammates seemingly leaving it for one another. I didn't say that Alejandro Sanchez has seen a lot of the football. Crucially, his finishing has been on point. That's what you want from your top man at the end of the day. Goals in the bag. Running through on goal. Shot placed right down the throat of Heward Bell. Madonna's trying to make an impact. Couldn't place his shot wide enough from Heward Bell. Link-up play from the Sky Blues is nice. The shot on goal was actually going past that far post. Do believe was a touch from Paul Henderson. Corner kick will be given. Well, he's hard as a goalkeeper to tell exactly. From my angle at least, it looked like it was swinging just wide. Neuenhoff immediately trying to make an impact. Sydney FC set piece. Once again, it's too close to Paul Henderson. It's the third or fourth corner kick for Sydney now that's gone straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. This is Sanchez, who does get some time on the ball now, so he's going to run. Happy to play it back. Madonna's to Woodcock. Woodcock's ball inside. Sanchez with a flick, plays it back inside. Heading off the ground now. Brings a laugh and applause from a few here. Woodcock again coming forward. It's all a little messy, but good to see some of the players still enjoying themselves. Pavicevic did actually read that passing lane very well. Unfortunate that the heavy touch sent him away. And some good physical work to block the run. Means there's an opportunity right into the feet of Sanchez. Trying to make a run through the lines. Right place, wrong time. From Alex Sanchez. Neuenhoff with plenty of time to measure the pass. Can only put it out of play. King reading the throw-in. Falls now to Ivanovic. No wants to try and take his man on. There you go. Skips away. Full of confidence. Number 11 for the Sky Blues, who now has a little feel of the small of his back after some late contact from Darcy Burgess. Nothing in it. The far side, Woodcock battling well to win the throw-in. Burgess around the corner, leaves it a little short for Arn. Sydney FC, again, you can understand why being 2 goals down. They're just slightly rushing their play. Maybe some tired legs after a long and testing season. Van Meuers confidently forward to Teague. Plays it back to Scabilio. Neuenhoff. Back to Van Meuers. Talbot read it. Does leave a bit of space there. Once again, Sanchez adjudged to be offside. Of all the calls so far this afternoon, that one looked the closest. Bassard not particularly happy with it. We'll bring about another substitution for Olympic. Radovan Pavicevic's afternoon and possibly season is done. Coming on for him, Michael Gaetatis. Pavicevic absolutely spent. Not too unhappy to be coming off after all his hard work. Ketatsis has been in brilliant touch these last few weeks. It's another opportunity. Help his side add to their tally here at Lambert Park this afternoon. Teague doing well in the air to hold on to possession. Talbot, I believe, taking a slip, and judged to be fouled by Zach McKenzie. Will be a sky blue free kick on the far side. Good header. Low to the ground from Woodcock. There's plenty of numbers for Olympic. They just can't win that first ball in transition from defence to attack. Very nicely done, Darcy Burgess. Ball from Stewart, can't find Sanchez. Putting Hewitt Bell under a little bit of pressure. Enough for the goal kick out of play. Now we're going to see Hamish Lamberton enter the field. Van der Sarg's season now is over, at least at this level. All eyes on him. That's what will be happening going forward. Talking, of course, senior team football. Ryan Teague also making way. Paolo Banani coming onto the pitch. That's all Sydney FC's substitutes done for the afternoon. Touch around the corner. Read well by Zach McKenzie. Gets a bit of applause for his effort. Lamberton looking to make his first impact. Scored a wonderful solo goal at Cromer Park, Hamish Lamberton. Added one or two more to his tally since then. Last week against Sutherland, spurned a number of opportunities. Perhaps the reason he's coming off the bench this week. Maybe some slight redemption about to come his way. Neuenhoff to Ivanovic. Will be playing out the 90 here. Invites the contact. Goes back to his goalkeeper. As it stands, despite their 3-1 lead, Sydney Olympic, reigning premiers and champions, will not be in this year's finals. Sydney United still holding a 1-goal lead, 2-1 over Manly United. That will give them that 5th spot. Touch through the lines from Neuenhoff. More in hope than anything else. Just see now Ivanovic pulling up a little sore. Mentioned he will be playing the 90 minutes. Had wondered after his absence last week whether he'd have it in him to complete the task at this level. Good opportunity for him perhaps to find out what he's made of when the legs are tired. Once again, Zach McKenzie winning the one-on-one against Swibble. He's not had a lot to sing about in this contest. Madonis, clever run back from Jack Stewart. Koleski in so much space on the right. The ball goes down the left and out of play. Dare say another wry smile will be coming out of Nikola Koleski. Absolutely busting his lungs. Create that extra width. Once again, a lot of space on the right-hand side. Been a little reluctant to go down it. When they have, dare I say, there's been quite a bit of joy. Keitatis was the one that made the run, created the space. The edge of the area. Madonis happy to play it out to Woodcock. The ball swung in. 3 Olympic jerseys at the back post. Unfortunately, that's not where the cross goes. Now the space down there, right? Sydney's left to at least start this play. Skibilio. Who's now in a more advanced role once more. Banani filling in at centre back. Ivanovic wants the run around. Just debate the space. Skibilio. Talbot wants the 1-2 as he always does. Talbot continues his run ignored. Lamberton holds it up well. Ball over the top. Finds King at the back stick. Ball inside. Just making sure he got something on it was Darcy Burgess. Ivanovic's shot closed down. King, wide of everything. Now for a goal kick. Ten minutes left to play between Sydney United and Manly. That scoreline remaining at 2-1 to the home side. I'll give you an update if there is any change. All Olympic can do, search for more goals. Again, space on the right if seen. Koleski finally receives this ball. What can he do with it? Gives it away. Ivanovic, a bit of contact being drawn from Darcy Burgess. Not a lot in it. Probably enough for a foul. Final sub being made. Jack Stewart, after a quite brilliant afternoon, never stopped running, got his goal coming off. Thomas Whiteside, his replacement. All substitutions made now by both sides. Clever work from Sanchez just to keep that in play. So it looks like Sydney United have scored an Antelmi goal, has made it 3-1. You would think that is now all over. Sydney United securing a finals position. Sydney Olympic, they're doing the double. Now be eliminated in the regular season. It had been such a closely fought contest throughout. Those final spots changing almost weekly. Manly United themselves are in that top 5 for a while. They'll have to rely just on small matter of the FFA Cup. Mount Druitt now will also miss out. And it seems this season has now run out of twists. Madonis. I'm not sure if news is spread out to these players. Perhaps not the wisest thing to tell them. Keep them motivated. So we see that there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time. They were able to add a third goal in the second half. It seems 3 points is job done, but not mission accomplished. Even after that excellent victory over Sydney United last week, they've just left themselves with too large a job. Overload on the right-hand side. Madonis decides instead to take his man on. He's got 3 to beat. He's beaten 2. Gets the ball in. Unable to find a teammate. Lovely footwork initially before coughing it up. Does get a little bit of help from Nieuwenhof. Swivel doing his best, and Lamberton believes he can keep this in play. Early acceleration enables him to do so. He's trying to go through his man here. That's not going to work. 2 to beat. Hamish Lamberton really needs the support of a teammate. King comes across. Secures the throw in. Madonis, who's had an excellent second half. Charging forward before holding it up for his teammate, Darcy Burgess. Inside, Gaitatis. Sanchez unable to secure the football. Little dink ball over the top. Kings in acres of space on Sydney's left. Hasn't yet been seen. Studs raised by Nieuwenhof. Will pick up the yellow card. Not with any malicious intent, but certainly against the modern rules of the game. And that will be that here at Lambert Park, and indeed it seems for the season. Sydney FC's fate was secured before this game began, with 5 minutes remaining in a crucial other fixture. It seems Sydney Olympics season is done. Be no baklava to celebrate after a 14-minute opening spree. Stewart and Sanchez making it 2-0 within 8 minutes. Coop getting one back for the home side before Sanchez became the outright third leading goal scorer in this competition. He finishes his season well, and ultimately there are 3 points here for Sydney Olympic as it finishes Sydney FC 1, Sydney Olympic 3.